Howdy Pioneers, welcome back to your weekly slice of Orange Sports. I'm Tanner Lambert. Today we are going to dive into more of the winter sports schedule, non-regarding COVID, hopefully, where we can talk about the expectations for each team and that sort of thing in this upcoming winter season.
Yeah, Tanner, every single team has had to deal with COVID, but we are looking late into what each team is going to expect this year.
Yeah, on the ice, on the court, on the mats, and even at the bowling alley, and as well as in the pool, what the expectations are for each Pioneer team this upcoming winter season. First off, if we look at the boys basketball team, held tryouts 2 weeks ago, and they have a set team. Coach Kalo has himself a veteran squad who is hungry for tournament wins and a tournament run, unlike last year where the boys had an early first-round exit and an upset loss at the buzzer on some free throws against Dublin Jerome. The seniors do not want to let that happen again. Senior forward Andre Irvin, who's a 4-year starter, and Jason Foster have a lot of work to do, as well as sophomore Elias Lewis, who's a starter for some of the season last year. And the young guy, he's got a lot riding on this season, and he's going to be one of these key players for the Pioneers. He's really, really a strong player and can get things done. He's another forward, and big Jason Foster, he can throw the ball down pretty well. And the boys team, they should have a shot to make a tournament run this season. Hopefully they can and have the opportunity to do so.
For girls basketball, the girls basketball team has a new coach this year and filled with hope. After a rough season last year, London Davis is ready to lead the new team.
Yeah, and if we look at hockey, the hockey team this year has a new head coach as well, Brenton Blasky. I was talking to my buddy, defenseman Ethan Muth, and he was telling me how the depth this year is going to be the biggest challenge for the team on the ice. They're going to run what most likely will be two lines of 5 guys. So they'll be rotating all 5 guys at every line change with opportunities to do that. So that sounds like it could be a very big challenge for the boys hockey team, but not too tough a one for them. They had a really good season last year with some big surprises. A 2-0 shutout against Berlin in December. And junior goalie Kyle Deere is only going to be better this season, but he's going to need some help in front of him, and that defense led by Ethan Muth can hopefully help out there and do something for him. But again, with the depth there, it's going to be a little tough to do that for the hockey team.
Sure thing, Tanner. For swimming, the Pioneer swim team has a lot of rules this year, just like everyone else for COVID. And the swim team season is now nowhere near the final. The state meet scheduled for all high school teams in the state. But as of right now, the sectionals and districts have yet to be scheduled. That is the road to states, and it will be interesting to see how all of this plays out with COVID and most of the swim meets usually held at college pools.
Right, college pools probably are not going to host a bunch of high school teams to come in. And like you mentioned, the state meet is scheduled, but sectionals and districts have yet to be scheduled for swimmers. So I don't really know how you qualify for the state meet yet. They're all trying to figure it out as we speak right now. Hopefully it will get figured out.
If we look at the girls' side of the team, seniors Brooke Farron and Emma Logan, along with juniors Kayla Fisher and sophomore Ava Rao, are going to look at try and get a relay to the state meet.
Yeah.
Individually, the girls are also qualified and strong, but together, the foursome is a strong relay with the team with a ton of potential for the season.
No kidding, those girls are pretty good, and it's fun to see them. On the guys' side, it'll be up to my fellow senior Graham Weidenhammer and myself, along with junior Noah Crow and sophomore my little brother Tucker Lambert, to try and pull the boys' relay to the state meet. That's been our goal the last couple of years here, and hopefully this year we can do it. The state meet only takes the top 24 qualifiers. Tucker and Graham could also potentially qualify individually. Last season, Tucker was the fastest freshman in Central Ohio. He qualified for districts individually, the only freshman to do so in the 100 free and the 100 back. Graham qualified in the 100 breaststroke, and both of them this year, I know that they've been training in the off-season, and they might have an opportunity to qualify individually.
For bowling has been going very well for our Pioneers. Senior Sydney Brisson had this to say about the season so far. Practice is very similar to previous years. We are still practicing at the Palace. For COVID, we do have to wear masks while practicing. The girls have to practice away from the boys and vice versa to minimize social distancing and limit the spread of COVID. Their season is waiting to start in December, and hopefully they can start in December.
Yeah, they had a great season last year. They did lose a lot of seniors on both sides, but I was talking to Nick Kikis, a boy bowler, and he said, we won the OCC last year. That's the goal again this year. And hopefully that is what happens on both sides there. I know they're both excited, both teams that is excited to bowl this season. Gymnastics has also been going very well. Junior Tatum Lather said it is definitely different due to COVID and the new procedures as well. But using a different facility, we are all slowly adapting, and we are excited to see what the future holds. The girls have a new gym they're practicing in this year as well as competing in, and I know that's got to be exciting for them. They won the OCC last year too for the first time in school history. So, new OCC this year, but still a strong team there.
Sure thing. For wrestling, our boys team and girls team will not be doing tournaments this year, but rather dual and tri meets. There will be no contact with any participants before and after the meets. Practices have been changed with no more morning practices, and weight groups are invited into pods to minimize the spread and maximize the space. Their goal is to get into top 5 in the district and get as many new people to states in this year more challenging OCC. They both did very well last season.
Yeah,
with the girls,
they were runner-up. Yeah, and the boys, Jeff Kaminsky was the furthest guy that made it. And this year, you got other seniors alongside him like Zach Miller who've got a chance to probably go a little further. I know that both of those teams are exciting. Obviously everything is tough this year with COVID, and wrestling is obviously going to be one of the toughest to participate in with COVID. But, with the pods and that sort of thing, it's got to be exciting. Again, all of these seasons for each sport are very fluid, and they'll probably be constantly changing. If a team gets it, they can't play, whether it's an Orange Pioneer team or an opponent, and that could really change the schedules. So we've just got to go with it and take it one day at a time, and that's what we did in the fall, and it seemed to work out pretty well. Hopefully we can do that in the winter, and it will work out that way as well. That is all we have for you today, Pioneers. Thank you for tuning into your slice of Orange Sports. We will be back next week as always, and stay safe and healthy until then.